Some villages on our planet seem to belong not to this world, but to the pages of a fantasy novel. They're places where time slows down, where the mountains seem to whisper ancient secrets, and where every cobblestone street holds 1,000 stories. Nestled deep in valleys, perched atop dramatic cliffs, or hidden beside crystal-clear lakes, these villages offer a rare kind of beauty, one shaped by both nature's hand and human imagination. Take HALLSTATT in Austria, a serene lakeside haven surrounded by towering alpine peaks. Or Shirakawa-go in Japan, where traditional gasho-style farmhouses stand covered in snow, like scenes from a timeless folk tale. Journey to Giethoorn in the Netherlands, where no cars exist, and residents drift silently along canals, living life at the rhythm of water. Then there's Oia, the gleaming white village on the cliffs of Santorini, Greece, where sunsets paint the sky in impossible colors. Today, we set off on a journey around the world, not to the capitals or megacities, but to the quiet, remote, often overlooked places. Places surrounded by breathtaking natural wonders, places where history lingers in the air and where every turn feels like a doorway to another world. These are the most beautiful villages on Earth, living masterpieces shaped by the land, the light, and the enduring spirit of the people who call them home. Lauterbrunnen, Switzerland. Tucked deep in the Swiss Alps, Lauterbrunnen is a hidden gem that looks like something out of a dream. This tiny village sits in a lush valley surrounded by towering cliffs and more than 70 waterfalls, including the famous Staubach Falls. Its name means many springs, and it's easy to see why. With roots dating back to the Middle Ages, Lauterbrunnen is a gateway to alpine adventures. It's pure fairy tale magic in every season. HALLSTATT, Austria. Nestled between the Dachstein Alps and the glassy Hallstätter Sea, it's one of the oldest still inhabited settlements in Europe, dating back over 7,000 years. In fact, the word Hall means salt, and Hallstatt gave its name to an entire Iron Age culture. The village is so iconic that China built a full-scale replica of it in Guangdong. Known for its salt mines, cozy alpine homes, and postcard views, Hallstatt feels like walking through a living fairy tale. MANDRAKIA, Greece. Tucked away on the northern coast of Milos Island, MANDRAKIA is a tiny Greek fishing village frozen in time. With just a handful of boathouses, called simata, painted in bright blues, reds and yellows, this coastal gem looks like a postcard brought to life. In the past, fishermen used these colorful homes to store boats during stormy winters. Home to just a few dozen residents, this peaceful spot feels like a hidden paradise, untouched by time. PERAST, Montenegro. PERAST is a breathtaking village nestled along Montenegro's Bay of Kotor, where Baroque palaces and ancient churches meet the deep blue Adriatic. With fewer than 500 residents, PERAST feels like stepping into a living museum. Once a powerful maritime hub in the 17th century, it's now famous for its two island churches, especially Our Lady of the Rocks, built on an artificial island. With calm waters, stunning mountain backdrops, and rich Venetian charm, PERAST is pure magic. PRIMOSTEN, Croatia. PRIMOSTEN, once a fortified island guarding against Ottoman attacks, now dazzles as a coastal jewel on Croatia's Dalmatian coast. Connected to the mainland since the 16th century, it's wrapped in ancient stone walls and crowned by a hilltop church with sweeping sea views. And here's a fun fact. Locals still hold traditional summer donkey races through the old town's narrow streets. Positano, Italy. Clinging to the cliffs of Italy's Amalfi Coast, Positano is a vertical village of pastel houses, winding stairways, and jaw-dropping sea views. Once a sleepy fishing town, it found fame in the 1950s when John Steinbeck called it a dream place. Positano's narrow streets were designed for donkeys, not cars, and some locals still travel that way. Hamnøy and Rhine, Norway. Tucked into the Arctic Circle, Hamnøy and Rhine are two tiny fishing villages in Norway's Lofoten Islands that look straight out of a Nordic fairy tale. Surrounded by jagged peaks and icy fjords, these villages are famous for their red råbur cabins, once used by fishermen, now cozy stays for adventurers chasing the northern lights. Despite their remote location, Rhine was once voted the most beautiful village in Norway. It's raw, remote, and absolutely unforgettable. Grindelwald, Switzerland. Grindelwald is a fairy tale village tucked beneath the towering peaks of the Swiss Alps. Surrounded by the Eiger, Monch, and Jungfrau Mountains, it's been a magnet for mountaineers since the 19th century. But here's what makes it magical. Grindelwald inspired scenes in The Lord of the Rings and even appeared in Star Wars, Episode 3. In summer, wildflower meadows stretch for miles. In winter, it transforms into a snow-covered wonderland. At glacier views, alpine trains, and storybook chalets, Grindelwald is Switzerland at its most cinematic. Oia, Greece. Perched high on the cliffs of Santorini, Oia is one of the most iconic villages in Greece, where whitewashed homes, blue-domed churches, and narrow alleys overlook the sparkling Aegean Sea. Built on the edge of a volcanic caldera, this village once sheltered sailors and merchants. But here's a twist. Many of Oya's homes are carved into the cliffside caves. From ancient charm to cinematic beauty, Oya isn't just a destination, it's pure poetry in stone and light. Murren, Switzerland. Murren is a car-free alpine village perched on a cliff 5,400 feet above sea level in the Swiss Alps. Reachable only by cable car or train, it offers jaw-dropping views of the Eiger, Monch, and Jungfrau peaks. Once a quiet farming village, Murren became famous as the birthplace of alpine ski racing in the 1920s. Today, it feels like stepping into a snow globe. Wooden chalets, flower-filled meadows, and silent, starry nights. Burano, Italy. Burano is a tiny island in Venice's lagoon, famous for its candy-colored houses and centuries-old lace-making tradition. Legend says, fishermen painted their homes in bright shades so they could spot them through the fog. With fewer than 3,000 residents, Burano feels like a living watercolor. Quiet canals, fluttering laundry lines, and handmade lace sold from family-run shops. Peaceful, playful, and full of charm, Burano is where every corner tells a story in color. Setenil de las Bodegas, Spain. Setenil de las Bodegas isn't just built near a cliff, it's built into one. Tucked in southern Spain, this whitewashed village has homes carved directly beneath massive overhanging rocks, creating natural stone ceilings. Once a Moorish stronghold, its name comes from 7 times nothing, a nod to the town's fierce resistance against Christian forces in the 1400s. Today, locals sip wine in cave bars and live in homes cooled by nature. It's not just architecture, it's geology turned into everyday life. Paraty, Brazil. Paraty is a colonial gem tucked between lush rainforest and the Atlantic coast of Brazil. Founded in the 1600s, it once thrived as a port for gold bound for Portugal. Today, its cobbled streets, laid without mortar, flood gently during high tide, reflecting the pastel facades like a living postcard. Surrounded by jungle-covered mountains and over 300 islands, Paraty is a mix of history, nature, and tropical magic. Atrani, Italy. Atrani is a hidden jewel on Italy's Amalfi Coast, small, serene, and steeped in old-world charm. Tucked between towering cliffs and the sea, this tiny village enchants with pastel houses, narrow stone alleys, and a peaceful beach. Unlike its busier neighbors, Atrani offers a slower rhythm where history whispers from every corner and sunsets light up the coastline in gold. It's one of Italy's smallest towns, but its beauty speaks volumes. Henningsvær, Norway. Henningsvær is a tiny fishing village in Norway's Lofoten Islands, where dramatic mountains meet icy Arctic waters. Built across small islets, connected by bridges, it's often called the Venice of the North. Colorful houses, art galleries, and cozy cafes line its narrow roads. But the real surprise? A soccer field perched on a rocky outcrop, surrounded by sea. With the northern lights in winter and the midnight sun in summer, Henningsvær blends raw Nordic nature with quiet coastal charm like nowhere else on Earth. Santa Maddalena, Italy. Santa Maddalena is a hidden gem in the heart of Italy's Dolomites, where lush green pastures roll into jagged, snow-capped peaks. This tiny village in South Tyrol is best known for its iconic view, the quaint church of St. Magdalena, set against the towering Odal Mountains. It's a place where time slows down, cows graze peacefully, and the air smells of pine and wildflowers. Chora, Mykonos, Greece. Chora, the main village of Mykonos, is a striking blend of classic Greek charm and modern island energy. Its whitewashed lanes twist like a labyrinth, opening onto cozy courtyards, seaside cafes, and vibrant shops. With stunning sunsets, lively culture, and coastal elegance, Chora is where tradition and trend meet in unforgettable harmony. Gandria, Switzerland. Gandria is a fairy tale village clinging to the shores of Lake Lugano in southern Switzerland. With its pastel houses, narrow stone lanes, and lush mountain backdrop, it feels like time stopped 100 years ago. Once a smuggler's haven, today it's a peaceful escape filled with lakeside cafes, olive groves, and winding footpaths. No cars, no noise, just the sound of lapping water and church bells in the breeze. Chefchaouen, Morocco. Tucked high in Morocco's Rif Mountains, Chefchaouen is a village unlike any other, where nearly every wall, stairway, and doorway is painted in radiant shades of blue. Founded in the late 15th century by Moorish exiles from Spain, the town's iconic color is said to symbolize the sky, heaven, and spiritual peace, or according to some locals, it keeps mosquitoes away. The blend of Andalusian and Berber design creates a maze of narrow alleys filled with hand-woven textiles, spice-scented air, and centuries-old fountains. Ushguli, Georgia. Ushguli is one of the highest continuously inhabited villages in Europe. Nestled deep in Georgia's wild Svaneti region at over 7,000 feet above sea level. Surrounded by snow-capped peaks and ancient glaciers, it feels like a place lost in time. Stone watchtowers, built over 1,000 years ago, stand tall beside humble homes, echoing tales of medieval resilience. With rugged trails, roaming horses, and UNESCO World Heritage status, Ushguli offers raw mountain beauty and ancient culture untouched by the modern world. Alberobello, Italy. Alberobello looks like it was pulled from the pages of a fairy tale. Nestled in southern Italy's Puglia region, this village is famous for its trulli, whitewashed stone houses with cone-shaped roofs made without mortar. Built as early as the 14th century, these quirky homes were designed to be easily dismantled to avoid taxes. Today, over 1,000 truly remain, earning Alberobello a spot on the UNESCO World Heritage List. Villagesyou, France. Perched high above the French Riviera, Villagesyou is a medieval village that seems frozen in time. With narrow cobblestone streets, stone archways, and ivy-covered walls, it feels more like a fairy tale fortress than a real place. Founded over 1,000 years ago, Villagesyou sits dramatically on a cliff nearly 1,400 feet above the Mediterranean Sea. LAUTERBRUNNEN, Switzerland. LAUTERBRUNNEN is a hidden gem in Switzerland's Villagesyou Valley, known for its emerald river and the iconic double-arched Ponte dei Salti, built in the 17th century. Surrounded by alpine peaks and stone cottages, it feels like a postcard brought to life. Visitors dive into the crystal-clear waters or sunbathe on smooth river rocks. Just 2 hours from Zurich, LAUTERBRUNNEN blends untouched nature, history, and pure Swiss serenity. Rocamadour, France. Rocamadour is a cliffside wonder in southwestern France, carved into limestone high above the Alzou River. For nearly 9 centuries, pilgrims have climbed its grand staircase to reach the sacred sanctuary of the Black Madonna. Stone houses stacked along the cliff give it a gravity-defying charm. Saint-Saphorin, Switzerland. Saint-Saphorin is a tiny Swiss village tucked between the Alps and Lake Geneva, surrounded by the terraced vineyards of Lavaux, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Its cobblestone lanes, medieval stone houses, and peaceful wine cellars create a timeless atmosphere. Dürnstein, Austria. Dürnstein is a picture-perfect village on the banks of the Danube River, nestled in Austria's Wachau Valley. Famous for its blue Baroque church tower and hilltop castle ruins where King Richard the Lionheart was once held captive. Spiez, Switzerland. Spiez is a lakeside jewel in Switzerland, set on the turquoise shores of Lake Thun and backed by the towering peaks of the Bernese Alps. Its thousand-year-old castle stands proudly above vineyards that roll gently to the water's edge. Known for its peaceful harbor, charming old town, and postcard-perfect views, Spiez is a place where Swiss tradition meets alpine serenity. Rothenburg, ob der Tauber, Germany. Rothenburg, ob der Tauber, is Germany's best-preserved medieval town, straight out of a storybook, with cobblestone streets, half-timbered houses, and towers that once guarded the ancient city walls. It feels like stepping back into the Middle Ages. Perched above the Tauber River, this Bavarian gem is famous for its Christmas markets, charming old inns, and year-round fairy tale atmosphere. It's not just a village, it's a time capsule of old-world wonder. Monsanto, Portugal. Monsanto is a village like no other, built into, around, and beneath giant granite boulders in central Portugal. Homes are tucked under stones the size of houses, creating a surreal and magical landscape. Crowned the most Portuguese village in Portugal, it's rich in medieval charm, with winding stone paths, red-tiled roofs, and sweeping views of the countryside. Gujo Hachiman, Japan. Gujo Hachiman is a peaceful riverside town in the mountains of central Japan, known for its crystal-clear waterways and traditional charm. Called the Water City, it's laced with canals, springs, and wooden water mills. The town is famous for the centuries-old Gujo Odori dance festival and for crafting ultra-realistic food replicas. Napel van Java, Indonesia. Napel van Java is a vibrant mountain village on the slopes of Mount Sumbing in central Java, Indonesia. Nicknamed Nepal of Java for its Himalayan-like views, the village stuns with rainbow-colored houses stacked along Nicknamed Nepal of Java for its Himalayan-like views, the village stuns with rainbow-colored houses stacked along steep hillsides. With cool mountain air, warm local smiles, and breathtaking scenery, Nepal Van Java offers a magical escape unlike anywhere else in Indonesia. Kragerø, Norway. Kragerø is a charming coastal town in southern Norway, often called the Pearl of the Coastal Towns. With its white wooden houses, winding alleys, and scenic harbor, it has inspired artists for over a century, including the famous Edvard Munch. Surrounded by over 400 islands and skerries, Kragerø is perfect for sailing, swimming, and soaking up the summer sun. Giethoorn, Netherlands. Giethoorn is a fairy tale village in the Netherlands where streets are replaced by canals and boats are the main way to get around. Nicknamed the Venice of the North, it's filled with thatched roof cottages, wooden bridges, and peaceful waterways. No cars in the center, just silence, swans, and the gentle splash of paddles. Whether you glide by whisper boat or walk the flower-lined paths, Giethoorn feels like stepping into a dream. Fishing village of Ine, Japan. Ine is a hidden fishing village on the Sea of Japan, where tradition floats, literally. Over 200 funaya, or boathouses, line the quiet bay with living quarters above and boats below. Nestled between mountains and sea, Ine feels untouched by time. Iseltwald, Switzerland. Iseltwald is a tiny lakeside village in Switzerland, nestled on the shores of Lake Brienz and framed by the Bernese Alps. With its wooden chalets, flower-lined paths, and crystal-clear waters, it looks like a postcard come to life. The village remains quiet and uncrowded, perfect for peaceful walks or boat rides. Albarracin, Spain. Albarracin is a medieval hilltop village in eastern Spain, wrapped in pink-hued stone walls and perched above a deep gorge. Its winding streets, Ancient towers and Moorish architecture make it feel frozen in time. Once a Moorish stronghold, it now draws travelers with its rich history and unreal views. Terracotta houses cling to cliffs, and narrow alleys lead to quiet plazas. Geiranger, Norway. Geiranger is a tiny village with one of the world's most jaw-dropping backdrops, deep in Norway's western fjords. Nestled at the end of the Geirangerfjord, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it's surrounded by towering cliffs, cascading waterfalls like the Seven Sisters, and deep blue waters. Cruise ships drift in, but the village stays peaceful and pure. Gimmelwald, Switzerland. Gimmelwald is a tiny cliffside village in the Swiss Alps that time forgot. No cars, no crowds, just wooden chalets, cowbells echoing through green meadows, and jaw-dropping views of snow-capped peaks. Perched above the Lauterbrunnen Valley, it's only reachable by cable car or hiking trail. Shirakawago, Japan. Shirakawago is a storybook village tucked in Japan's mountains, famous for its steep, thatched roof farmhouses called gashozukuri, designed to shed heavy snow like praying hands. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, the village feels like a step back in time, especially under a winter blanket of white. Seyðisfjörður, Iceland. Seyðisfjörður is a hidden gem on Iceland's eastern fjords, where rainbow-colored houses sit between snow-capped mountains and a deep blue bay. Known for its artsy vibe, the village is home to galleries, a famous rainbow street, and a blue church that feels straight out of a fairy tale. Fenghuang, China. Fenghuang is a mystical riverside town in China's Hunan province, where time seems to stand still. Stone streets, stilted wooden houses, and arched bridges reflect in the calm waters of the Tuo River. With over 1,000 years of history, it's a living museum of ancient Miao culture and Qing dynasty charm. Lanterns glow at night, boats glide silently by, and every alley whispers stories from China's past. Barichara, Colombia. Barichara is a picturesque colonial town perched on a hilltop in Colombia, often called one of the country's most beautiful villages. Known for its cobblestone streets, whitewashed stone houses, and red-tiled roofs, Barichara feels like stepping into a living postcard. Seixal, Portugal. Seixal is a charming village on Madeira Island, famous for its striking black sand beaches and towering volcanic cliffs. Nestled between lush hills and the sparkling Atlantic Ocean, it offers stunning spots like natural rock pools and sea caves. Perfect for hiking, swimming, or simply relaxing with breathtaking ocean views, Seixal feels like a peaceful hideaway where nature's beauty takes center stage. Rovinj, Croatia. Rovinj is a vibrant coastal town on Croatia's Istrian peninsula, where narrow cobblestone streets wind through colorful Venetian-style buildings. Sitting along the Adriatic Sea, it boasts a lively harbor, charming cafes, and a hilltop church with stunning views. Known for its rich history and buzzing art scene, Rovinj blends Mediterranean charm with seaside beauty, making it a must-visit for travelers seeking culture, sunsets, and delicious seafood. Wairebo, Indonesia. Wairebo is a remote village perched high in the mountains of Flores, Indonesia. Famous for its traditional cone-shaped Mbaru Niang houses, this ancient village offers a rare glimpse into Manggarai culture. Surrounded by lush forests and misty peaks, Wairebo feels like stepping into another world. Dam, Belgium. Dam is a quaint medieval town just outside Bruges, Belgium, known for its peaceful canals, historic windmills, and well-preserved city walls. With cobblestone streets and charming old buildings, Dam feels like stepping back into the Middle Ages. Tiradentes, Brazil. Tiradentes is a charming colonial town in Brazil's Minas Gerais region, famous for its well-preserved Baroque architecture and cobblestone streets. Nestled in rolling hills, this historic town is known for its vibrant festivals, cozy cafes, and artisan crafts. Monschau is a picturesque town tucked into the hills of Germany's Eifel region, famous for its half-timbered houses and narrow cobblestone streets. The Ruhr River winds through the village, adding to its fairy tale charm. Whether exploring charming alleys or hiking nearby trails, it's a must-see for travelers seeking authentic German vibes. Soufrière is a stunning town on St. Lucia's west coast, famous for its dramatic volcanic landscapes and lush rainforests. Home to the iconic Pythons, twin volcanic peaks, and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Soufrière offers incredible hiking and breathtaking views. Bourglen is a quaint Swiss village nestled in the heart of the Alps, famous as the legendary birthplace of William Tell, Switzerland's folk hero. Surrounded by towering mountains and lush valleys, this charming village offers traditional wooden chalets and peaceful hiking trails. Vernazza is a stunning seaside village along Italy's famous Cinque Terre coastline. Known for its colorful houses stacked on cliffs, bustling harbor, and historic castle ruins, Vernazza offers breathtaking views of the Mediterranean Sea. Saint-Béat is a peaceful village tucked in the French Pyrenees near the border with Spain. Nicknamed the Marble Village for its gleaming white stone, Saint-Béat charms visitors with its historic bridge, old fort, and the Garonne River. Nicknamed the Marble Village for its gleaming white stone, Saint-Béat charms visitors with its historic bridge, old fort, and the Garonne River flowing through. Sirmione is a magical village on a narrow peninsula stretching into Italy's Lake Garda. Known for its Roman ruins, thermal springs, and the fairy tale Scaliger Castle, Sirmione blends history with lakeside beauty. Cobblestone lanes lead to gelato shops, charming cafes, and stunning water views. Caverno is a peaceful village tucked in the Bavona Valley of southern Switzerland, where time seems to stand still. Surrounded by steep granite cliffs and waterfalls, It's known for its rustic stone houses and untouched natural beauty. With no electricity in much of the valley, Villagesyou offers a rare glimpse into traditional alpine life. Villagesyou is a hidden gem in China's Yunnan province, where terraced fields paint the landscape in bold swirls of red, green, and gold. Surrounded by rolling hills and remote farmlands, this tiny village offers jaw-dropping views that change with the seasons. With its rare earth-rich soil and traditional Yi culture, Villagesyou blends natural wonder and ethnic heritage. Arberg is a picturesque Swiss town nestled along the Aare River, crowned by a dramatic medieval castle perched on a rocky hill. With its pastel houses, cobblestone lanes, and stunning riverside views, Arberg looks like a painting come to life. The historic fortress dates back to the 13th century and watches over the village like a guardian. Kastraki is a stunning village tucked beneath the towering rock pillars of Meteora in central Greece. With its red-roofed houses and quiet stone streets, Kastraki feels like a step back in time. But the real wonder? The ancient monasteries perched high on the cliffs above, some dating back over 600 years. Orbaneja del Castillo is a magical village carved into the cliffs of northern Spain's Burgos province. Famous for a waterfall that flows right through its center, the village seems to grow out of the rocks themselves. With honey-colored stone houses, caves, and natural pools, it's a fairy tale come to life. Surrounded by canyons and silence, Orbaneja offers wild beauty, ancient charm, and one of the most unique village landscapes in all of Spain.